Okay, and we're live. Welcome back. This is me, Rasul, talking, and we are once again back in Mass Effect Andromeda, where we will be continuing where we left off with our female rider, Onios, just after having cleared the vault. And happy Easter to you too, Josh. Nice having you. So yeah, I haven't touched this playthrough at all since the last stream, so we'll be right where we stopped, out in the open near the vault. Let's actually see what we're gonna do. We have to establish the outpost. Okay, then let's do that. Yeah, I've been having quite some
pre-trip vision paintings of future Eos. Green fields, rivers, forests. Wonder what it'll really be like down the line.
Fewer death storms would be nice.
We'll get there. Pathfinder is enough to tip the balance.
Yeah, I've been having lots of time to think about where I want to go with the series. And for now, I definitely intend to keep these streams going and play through the entire main storyline.
I think that's it.
And I will do that on the scheduled dates during the week. But on Sundays, except for today, at least for the first stream today, I will probably be doing other stuff. Simply doing random things and thinking maybe even other games. Or I'll pick up this particular playthrough and do things not related to the main storyline. Like, for example, crafting.
Is that Drac?
Or yeah, sorry for stopping to talk. But during combat I tend to get distracted quite easily.
I'll take you apart.
That's it, kid. Keep it up.
That is a lot of enemies.
Horace hurt!
Color me impressed.
Nice.
Nice.
Reload!
Nice. Think I made them angry. Good. That fight was fun.
You're telling me.
You could really handle yourself, kid. And I hear you're the one to thank.
How did you expect I would look?
Sky. Had your number all wrong.
You're not so bad yourself, old man. Maybe we should work together after all.
This fight was pretty good, but you're still Nexus and green as a Drell. Still, something tells me you've got potential. Be ashamed to waste that.
You mean full on nerd?
Keep up.
This is gonna be great.
The first colonists sent audio logs about these regions back to the Nexus.
And?
Fairwinds Basin. Lowest radiation count in the area. Little bit of hope.
It is calmer. Notice that?
This is where we'll build our new outpost. A real beginning.
Prepping deployment order. You must choose what purpose this new outpost will serve.
The Nexus doesn't get a say?
Resources are at a crisis point. Protocol states this judgment call falls to the Pathfinder. With current supplies, you could build a military outpost, focusing on defense and militia training. Alternatively, a scientific outpost could advance the initiative's research and discoveries.
Yeah, as I was saying, I intend to split this in essentially. I'm intending to split my streaming schedule into essentially 2 parts. During the week, I will be streaming the main storyline in Andromeda, simply focusing on getting the main storyline done and doing the side quests I want to complete before the end. And on Sundays, I'll be doing the other stuff: maintenance on my character, crafting new items, reading the journals, doing all the non-impact side quests like all the collection quests, and just having a good time essentially, without having to or wanting to actually progress in the game by itself. Today is the exception. At least this first 1.5 hours will be me following the main quest line and setting up here the outpost, then going over to that other waypoint I found down in the vault. And after that, we'll see what we'll do.
What do you think? Military outpost or scientific?
Pathfinder's call. But research is no good if we're dead. Military.
It's got to be science. Our colonists need to understand their home.
Be advised that the first outpost placed by a Pathfinder will be a statement in itself. Fair or not, your choice will represent the initiative and its intentions in Andromeda. Consider carefully.
Yeah, usually I go with the scientific outpost. I haven't really gone with the military, at least not for a full playthrough. What do you guys think? What should I do? Scientific or military? Either one works perfectly, and I'm not sure if there's a benefit to one or the other. As far as I could see from the storyline, there isn't really an upside to either one, but I think scientific is what the official storyline would choose, and what is therefore maybe the most fleshed out. Not sure. As I said, I've never gone with military, so I can't really comment on that one. But I'm pretty sure that the official default storyline for Mass Effect would probably be the scientific version. Military, eh? Let's see. What's the state of the Andromeda Galaxy and the Helios cluster? On our first world, we were attacked. On our second one, hi Iron. I would actually go with the third one and making a mining colony. That is what I would pick if I could. Because science doesn't do us any good without resources, military doesn't do us any good without resources, and what we are currently lacking the most is freaking resources. So let's make it an outpost for resources. But alas, that's not an option. So, one vote for military, any other votes? Yeah, in that case, even though military, let's actually go over the things once more. We have a lot of any military presence in the area. We know that there's a lot of tech we really don't understand. Neither the stuff the cat are using, nor the stuff that's lying around all over the place. And we are meant to be a scientific and civilian endeavor in the first place. But if we're dead, then we can't do any science either. So, well, let's actually go to the military because I've never done that before.
A military outpost. We defend our own against the cat, or anyone else.
Orders prepped. Ready on your signal.
And or to rebel against what Mass Effect has planned for me.
Andromeda Initiative. This is Ryder. Pathfinder. EOS is ready for deployment.
Copy that.
Yeah, the best science ever is military science.
Outpost block inbound. And ready as hell.
The science of making explosion even prettier. Well, that's fireworks, my bad. More effective? More impressive?
August Bradley, operational head for this block. Mayor now, I suppose. We're ready to make the most of what you delivered.
It took a lot of people to get us this far. That's the work you'll continue.
I hear that. Prodromos. That's what we're calling her.
They're eager. I haven't seen eager for months.
Yeah, that bitch again.
Eos is far from golden. But now it's defensible. Arguing that choice will come later. They think you did the impossible. The Nexus. I warned them, hoping was irresponsible. You proved me wrong, Pathfinder.
Yeah.
What are you playing at? Seems like being my friend is suddenly valuable.
Fair assumption. The reality, Rider? You brought us time. But one outpost on a long-shot planet won't stop us from starving. You already have a lead on something else?
Yeah, it's
The
called
nav
hydroponics.
From the vault.
Now it gets complicated.
Have you heard of the
The
concept?
others are ready to officially sanction your efforts, to be a part of your success. We all want the initiative to succeed. But after failing for so long, no one agrees on how to do it. Be aware, that's all.
Yeah. Whoever designed the ships to go here should be fired.
Watch out for everyone. But not you, right? You're genuine.
I know what I came here to be. Talk to Bradley. Later we'll go over the extended job of Pathfinder. Until then, Tan's waiting on the Nexus.
I mean, come on, you send ships 600 years through empty space. And when they arrive, they are suddenly so short on resources and so short on power and everything else that they can't even last for a year. 1 year after 600 years of traveling? Yeah, sure. Sounds like good planning to me. Not putting in even the slightest bit of a buffer for emergencies. So, ammunition. Very nice. Let's see. Did you pick up anything interesting? A crappy rifle? Okay. Bunch of pistols. Crappy snipe. Shotguns. Well, looks to me like we got a bunch of resources lying around waiting to be picked up. I will switch to the Grad Gauntlet simply because I haven't used it before. So, There's that. Do we have any armors? Yeah, we have a bunch. Let's actually equip the ones we want. Yeah, that one can be scrapped. Though I think I'll keep it so I can switch out when I wanna recraft my helmet, so I have an alternative. Yeah, not worth it. Not worth it. Barely worth it, and it's gonna be the best looking one. So... nothing found. Bit weapon damage, but not really something. Let's actually go with side prizes for now, because why not? So yeah. There's a quest, there's a dude to talk, and there's a quest. Then let's start with the dude to talk to. Yeah, I really wish they hadn't restricted themselves to merely a shooter role-playing action kind of game, but added a bit of a strategic layer on top,
Sam? What was that?
so that
An eidetic trigger related to your father and the portions of my memory array he locked.
What triggered it?
Alec tied it to your progression as Pathfinder, not to a location. Puzzling as it may be, my programming is clear. Locating more of these triggers will unlock the memories. One of your father's memories is now accessible. Return to Sam Node on the Hyperion to investigate further.
yeah, as I said, I wish they had added a strategic layer so that this outpost, for example, and the Cat military base somewhere back there, I think roughly there, that they would send out forces over the planet, capture areas, get benefits from those areas, be able to send more forces, and essentially have a kind of real-time strategy game against each other on the planet. And that you could direct your Apex forces to interfere with that, and your own missions would interfere with that as well. So that there's more than just go and shoot static enemies that'll respawn once you didn't kill them often enough, or whatever. Yeah. Dude to talk to.
Mayor Bradley.
Pathfinder, good to see you. We're busy as anything thanks to you. Bit dusty, but we can adapt. It's worth it when it's your own.
I do want consistent
Make sure
updates.
to keep a clear log of what you're doing.
Well, let's save some bandwidth. Busted ass defeat initiative. Copy, paste, repeat. You go do what you need to on the Nexus. Follow that dot. There will be more to do on EOS later. Some key positions: Connor Supply, Ramirez Medical, Abrams Science, Falks Engineering. With them and my major domo, we won't end up like Site 1 and 2.
I combed the first 2 outpost attempts. Those people died trying.
And they deserved better from the Nexus. That's where I point the finger. We'll remember. You changed this planet. But that doesn't make it easy. We'll use the efforts of those who went before. Good people, every last one. I'd have been honored to fail with any of them.
Looking back isn't a good use of time. We have to keep building.
Keep is generous. We have to start. Real building, not just survival. Oh, and Pathfinder, this is for you. It's our flag. Hang it where the Nexus can see. It's touched the soil of our first outpost in Andromeda. Make it real. Head for the Nexus, Pathfinder. Prodromos will have more going on when you come back later.
Okay, I'll take his word for it, and I'll check out those quests when we actually come back to this planet. Except I think there's a couple things I can scan on my way back. And every bit of tech data we get is good data. I hope they replace the shields. Not a shield mast? Whatever.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear.
Yeah. Having a strategic layer both on a per planet base and for the entire Helios cluster would have really made this game so much more interesting, because every single playthrough would be different. Depending on the choices you make, the entire strategic element would vary, but I guess that's a bit much for a console
Before the
game.
meeting gets started, I have bunk assignments for PB and Drac.
Already put my rucksack in the kitchen. I'll hang out there if that's okay.
And I'm in one of the escape pods. More my speed.
That's fantastic. Welcome aboard. Any thoughts, Ryder?
I don't care where anyone sleeps, as long as we realize what a kick-ass team we have. Let's talk about our success on EOS. Besides establishing our first viable outpost, we did some amazing things. We discovered the Remnant and breached their vault.
And didn't get killed.
Overcame radiation poisoning a number of times.
And didn't die.
Confronted by Ket at every turn.
Once again, did not get killed.
You guys really need to raise the bar on what you call success.
He has a point.
Yeah, should we use the Krogan definition of success that got your homeworld nuked by your own people?
Nope.
Fair enough.
Let's focus. Back to the task at hand. Looking forward.
Exactly. Here's my only question. When do we hit that next vault? It looked active. We have to get on that.
Yep.
Hang on. We need to not go off half-cocked.
There are initiative priorities. The team calls the shots.
Actually, the Pathfinder calls the shots, just to be clear.
So what do you need from us, Ryder?
Let's be kind and give each other the benefit of the doubt. Finding a home for tens of thousands in this hellscape is stressful enough, without adding dysfunction.
You got it, boss.
Yeah, so long as these maniacs get along with each other.
Krogan are known for one thing, it's getting along.
Not humility or self-awareness.
Okay, let's head back to the Nexus. PB, Drac, see Lexi for a physical? Good meeting, everyone.
Yeah, discipline is really not the strong suit of these people. But on to more interesting things.
I'm in the galley when you're free.
All our missions are completed. So far, so good. By the way, I would be up for playing multiplayer with other people, so long as you have the same mods active as I do, so we have the same weapon stats and everything. Give me 1 second real quick, and I'll set up the mod command for that. The chat command. That would be here. Yeah, it's already set up. Exclamation mark mods without a space, and you get a full get the link for the Google document with all the or the mods in it. So, yeah. That's that. Let me get back into the game. However, I would limit the multiplayer portion to Sundays, simply so that the regular streams are not interrupted for that. But I guess that shouldn't really be an issue. And of course, I'm also up for playing without a stream. There are surprisingly little mods that actually affect the graphics or the animations for this game, which I consider to be actually quite good, because modding Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 was a pain. Getting all those getting all the texture packs just right and without conflicts, all the animations just right and without conflicts. Yeah, that really was a pain. Do I want to switch to the MO-THU? It does have too little ammunition. Not a fan of that. The damage is awesome, sure. But the ammunition? I think I might craft me a MO-THU with a heatsink, and then I'll be fine with it. But for now, that's not. Yeah. Which ones don't I need? This one can be scrapped. This one can be scrapped. We already got a fusion mod. The shielding one? Yeah. I could destroy it because I really never use it, but mark it all as red. The game was originally bad when it came out. Really bad. But over the last, I think it's 2 years now since it came out, there were so many changes to it that now the game is essentially almost bug-free. There's small couple things here or there where they, when an item has a wrong icon or is priced as one class higher than it should be. Tiny things like that are still slipping through the cracks. But really major issues? As far as I know, they're all fixed. Yeah, so in the playthrough I made without mods, I didn't have a single real bug. Not one. Not entirely correct. There's one line of conversation that is not voiced in the first part of EOS on the planet. But that's a single sentence that has a missing audio file. Anything else in the game was perfectly alright. No real animation glitches, no problem with lip sync voices, animations, textures. I think I did manage to clip through the ground once in a weird combination of staggering and chaotic blinking underground. And occasionally, chaotic explosions, combo detonation, stuff like that can clip enemies through walls on the ground. But that's really rare in 99% of all locations. So, weapons. There's a lot of options here. But for now I think I'll forgo all of them. Let's actually check out this one. It's biotic stuff, okay. This one is melee, not doing that. There's actually a nice combination of if you use this set, you get a ton of weapon damage from the chest, the arms, the legs and the helmet. But the helmet gives weapon damage and combat power damage. But if you instead take the Helios one, you get the same amount of weapon damage or even more. And you get power damage, not just combat power damage. Meaning you get more bonus and to all powers instead of just a small bonus to a single power type out of the 3 that exist. So yeah. This helmet is one of the best options for a helmet in the game. And as I said in the last stream, this will probably be the armor we will be running around in for the time being, though not with that color scheme. Having the combination of power damage, weapon damage, and damage resist. What else do you want? Yeah, and lastly, finally we got access to the Remnant stuff. This one is one of my absolute favorites in terms of sidearms. Got heat-based, seat-based, got a good size clip, larger than most assault rifles. Got an insane fire rate and almost assault rifle level damage. I think it's even the same damage as the Avenger assault rifle does that we currently use. So yeah, that's a really awesome weapon. And it becomes kinda insane if you add a couple mods to it. But for now, there's one thing I really want. This augment. This augment in your chest slot, but also the weapon, but for now the chest slot. This one will save my butt so many times that I will definitely get this as soon as I freaking can. AKA now. I will probably switch to using this armor fairly soon. Its damage resist and regeneration speeds, meaning I recover faster and take less damage. And on Sanity, that is definitely worth it. I'm not entirely sure which arms and legs I'll be using. I could be using more Remnant, but I could also be using nope. I could be using the cat stuff for weapon damage. The combat power damage, I'm not using combat abilities, so whatever. But weapon damage would definitely help. Or I could actually use, say, the Maverick for headshot and spare weapon ammo. Or I could the Pathfinder, weapon accuracy and damage resist. Yeah, there's a couple options. I'm not entirely sure which legs and arms I'll end up using. But yeah, for now, I definitely hope that I can craft at least one chest. Platinum, titanium. I don't really care which armor I craft at this point, so long as I craft one. Beryllium and titanium. Cat alloy and Angarian meditation crystals. I might actually go with the Pathfinder chest for now. Platinum I can find. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Damage resist is always nice. Weapon accuracy doesn't hurt, but we don't really need that one. That is kind of waste. But the power restoration and defense really will mean that a lot of our abilities will help us quite a bit more. That should really help us survive a lot more. Getting more shields back, both on the initial use of energy drain and on the per second use of energy drain, that will really help. But finding platinum in that amount, let's hope the store has some. No rares, so we don't have platinum right now. Fluoride we can pick up by the ton down on EOS. No reason to buy that. Beryllium we were short on. Sure, we could buy some of that. We can buy beryllium. Does that mean we can craft one of the armors now? We also need titanium, which is rare. Or just platinum. Or the cat. The cat alloys we can find quite easily. Even down on EOS. It's the Angaran stuff. We haven't found the Angaran yet, so... Beryllium, then we need titanium. Yeah, it looks like... this might actually be the first armor we take. Would be awesome. I would definitely be all for it. But catalyst we can get, that means we need to meet the Angaran. Can we actually craft our first weapon already? And can we research? We don't have enough for the heatsink, which is a shame. Nor do we have enough for the sticky grenades, which are freaking awesome. Really awesome. But for now, I think I would prefer having the heatsink. I really want a weapon that doesn't use ammunition, or at least can keep going no matter how long the battle. So yeah. Anyways, let's research the next level of at least the helmet, since that we'll need anyways, and that one we'll do as soon as we can. For now, apparently it seems we can't do any new items, even with all the scrapping we did. And Drax wanted to talk to us. And I wanted to slightly repaint my armor.
Don't give the Pathfinder too much trouble. Oh, Rushan.
Who were you talking to?
Kesh, Nexus Superintendent, thinks she can boss me around just because she's my granddaughter.
Well, welcome to the Tempest. Trouble's what we do.
I like the way you think, kid.
Ugh, someone somewhere shivered when I said that.
Probably Tam. Damn politicians.
Is that all you brought?
You travel lean when supplies are tight and you're on your own.
Leaving the Nexus can't have been an easy choice.
It was, actually. Staying became impossible. After the mutiny happened, it was either buckle under Tan's rules or start our own colony. Easy choice. Bad consequences all around.
Not all Krogan left. Your granddaughter stayed.
Good thing she did. Without my Rushan, you wouldn't have had much of a station to tie your ship to. As for me, I'm way more useful out here. Lots to shoot at, for one.
I do understand why they left, but the Nexus does need them.
Krogan could have made a real difference on the Nexus.
Staying under those conditions would have just resulted in another mutiny. We have a much better shot at something good out here.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, with Director Tan and his racist tendencies. Well, tendencies is actually a bit soft for what he does. So customize, I would like this to be slightly up. And roughly there. Roughly there. Yeah, I need to get out of that armor. Whatever. I think it was that pattern and that color, yeah. Almost that color. That color that I wanted. Let's see, did it work out? Yeah, I think it did. So, who else wants to talk to me?
Most of the crew bunks in here. Cozy, huh? But your room's got more of a view.
I always love these messengers. Unfortunately, there's fairly few of them. Only roughly 2 or 3 dozen. Not all that much compared to the length of the game. Yeah. Subi is a cute one, but kinda scatterbrained.
You're not Harry.
The blue give it away? Habitat 7 was a little more action-packed than Harry bargained for. He decided to spend his retirement years in the Hyperion looking after your brother.
Happy to have you, Dr. DePero.
I'll do my best. Now, hold still.
Ow!
Sorry.
I remember you having a gentler touch.
Still trying to get my bearings. Thought I'd be waking up colonists, not taking care of the Pathfinder.
I couldn't be in better hands.
I just stabbed you.
We all have off days.
I always hoped to work in the field, but everything's happening so quickly.
Focus on the positive. It helps.
I guess this is my opportunity to study alien species firsthand. Getting a Ket specimen aboard the Hyperion would be difficult, but here...
what?
A Ket corpse. For autopsy. A live subject would be better, but I'm not greedy.
Why do you care about the cat?
Harry didn't tell you? I'm a specialist in alien anatomy. My thesis on Krogan virility and aggression is what got me in the initiative.
Nope, not interested in her. Virility and aggression, huh?
Anatomist, physician. That's quite the resume.
Yep.
I'm also a licensed psychologist. 275 years has given me plenty of time to branch out.
She's quite
But we
quite
were
young.
discussing the Ket. An autopsy could teach us potential
Isn't that still
weaknesses,
a
average
maiden stage?
lifespan.
Right.
Just something to think about. Sam, make sure the Pathfinder eats her vegetables.
Yes, Mom. And with that we finally got the reconstruction and the respec. The respec we got from the beginning, but the reconstruction now unlocked. Not that I actually intend to use it, but now we have it.
Pathfinder rider to engineering. Repeat, rider to engineering. Shit, is this thing on?
Someone. Maybe they could use you on comms.
So you get to be with the Pathfinder and I have to watch your radio?
The radio or help Cash with cleanup. Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Let me guess. Little sister?
Who are you calling little?
Look, kiddo, gotta go.
Wait, Ryder, I just wanted to know if...
So I know it feels like I just jumped aboard your ship without explanation.
I would have done the same just to get off the Nexus.
That's not why I came. Sure, I want to explore the galaxy, but I'm really here to work. I know everyone on the crew, even the actuators Gil prefers for the ship. Better, I know how to get my hands on them. With me around, your crew's going to be at their best. We've been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance out here.
We need people with skills, and it sounds like you've got many. Welcome aboard.
Yep, making deals to get the things you want, shooting at the things you don't. That's me. We all have a personal stake in this. If it keeps going the way it's been, we're all dead. I should track down a lead for Gil's actuators. Back channels, you know. We'll chat later?
Yep, having a supply specialist is definitely handy.
Pathfinder, help me with something? I know, not exactly standard. Gotta make the space comfortable. Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omni blade. Not giving up a 6% boost, right?
Right. What?
Never mind. BS for the requisition. So, finally time for that beer? And after 2 years and a dozen suspensions, I took a lateral promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. But crisis response? Digging people out of trouble? That worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
Tell me about your group.
Heavy Urban Search Terrain 1? Yeah. Earth's contribution to a multi-species disaster response unit. HUST-1, but Hustle looks much better on the patch. All civilians, retired vets, or shits like me. I was fiercely bearded. Tastes better just thinking about those days.
I put it behind me after Dad's work went sour. It was a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
Okay, this brings me to the next part about this campaign. We have to choose a romance option. Of those that are available, we'll meet one later on, which I will not get into it for now because I don't want to spoil our viewers on YouTube. And I personally think that this particular rider will want to have a home in this galaxy and make it a home, which will include kids. So anyone that's not able to have a kid with her is out of the question, which includes Drax, because Krogan can't have a kid with that, and it also includes the one we'll meet in the future. Asari would potentially be viable, so we have PB and Lexi as potential options, except that Lexi is a bit uptight and PB is significantly too flighty for making a family with, at least for the next roughly 200 years or so. Yeah. 200 years is probably a bit more than my life than my rider's life expectancy here. So yeah, not going with that either. So those two are out too. That leaves Cora, which is female and therefore can't have a child with. Vetra, once again, an alien not compatible for having child with. Jill up in engineering, and him. And as we'll find out soon enough, there is a certain issue of having a female rider with Jill. Which means he's the only real romance option I see left. What do you guys think? Who should be romance in this particular playthrough? I'm pretty sure that even if it's not mentioned in the game, there is a certain amount of, let's call it, self-inflicted stress relief going around the entire crew, including Ryder. I really need to see if I can reduce that delay. The delay between me saying something and the stream's actually showing it, so yeah. But after that stream. Yeah. I mean, we got Vetra, Drax, and the other one. Those are all aliens, and in my opinion, really, that doesn't work out for her. Neither does Cora, for multiple reasons. Maybe with all the genetics tech that's flying around in this cluster, and that we probably research ourselves, there might be some possibility of merging two genetic samples and creating a child or creature out of that. But I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't want to experiment with my own offspring like that. I mean, that's how it's done in Star Trek. Literally, that's how it's done in Star Trek. All those half Vulcan, half human people, like Spock, for example, have been actually created in a test tube. Same with the half Krogan and so on. They are not genetically viable by nature, so they simply used science and made them viable. But I'm pretty sure I don't want to go that route. Yeah. Those are the images I had in mind as well. Once the tech is actually viable and fully researched and established and tested and tried and in work for a while, sure. But being the first one, definitely not. Well, either a purebred human or an Asari. Those work as well. And purebred human would be the opposite gender of my rider, aka male, and there's only 2 male humans that are around, which would be him and Jill. And we'll come back to why Jill is a problematic choice. But yeah. But I think at least try my luck with him and see where it goes, and try my luck with Jill up there and see where that goes. And then we'll decide after that.
I'm looking for moments like this with people like you.
You don't know me yet. Still an answer though. Something far from home. I get it.
Back at you, Costa. Why do you come?
I want to say I'm running from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story. But it's bullshit. I had family, friends, a good enough job, nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to. We're in it.
Change direction? We kinda are changing the direction of the initiative from straight for failure into success, but
If it all goes wrong, it could feel like we left for no reason.
I know why I'm here. A bad start can't change that. I won't let it. In crisis response, I'd focus on essentials. That's you and this team. Pathfinder leads to planets, leads to people. You've got your part covered. You've got this. I'll do my damnedest to help with the rest.
yeah, one of the reasons I want my rider to be able to have a child in here, in this galaxy, or this cluster in this galaxy, is so she has a stake of her own to actually make this work and make it personal for her. There are very few people that are actually willing to fight for an ideal. Very few. And most of those are fanatics. And I'm not really liking the concept of being a fanatic. Most people actually fight for the guy next to them, for their brothers in arms, for their family at home, for stuff like that. Or even for the people in the country they try to free them from tyranny or whatever. Something like that. It may not be that their goal is actually a true goal, true in the sense that there is tyranny they are fighting against. They may simply perceive it as that, but that's enough as a reason for fighting for. So having a personal goal to fight for will definitely help keeping a rider on track. Yeah, I'm really liking the new slightly bluish black of the armor way more than the grayish from before. So yeah, childs are definitely a good option for that. And the game crashed. What the? Well, let's get back into the game. What the frick happened there? I was talking about all the bugs being fixed and... well, to be honest, this is the first crash in... I don't know... 2 weeks of playing Mass Effect Andromeda? So let's see how much we lost. Yeah, as I said, I have been having a really great time coming back to Andromeda because 99 point quite a bit of all percent of all the bugs in Andromeda have been fixed. But occasionally, apparently, there is still a slight instability. Although I have to say, the mods definitely introduce a certain amount of instability. And now we got the Facebook going, which means I need to quickly... Yeah, I would say almost all the bugs have been fixed, but there are still a few around. So,
We haven't really
yeah.
spoken since orientation, have we?
And yes, that is all I need to do to get my head
But I'm
back.
sure things will quiet down soon.
Freaking
Nothing
face
worse
bug.
than the Nexus.
Yeah, it's probably the same as the metric butt load and a couple other things like that. One of my friends actually likes to measure weights in whale balls. So yeah, there's a lot of weird measurements and sayings out there. Let's hope it does work this time. Finally.
Pathfinder, making the rounds. Slumming it, huh? Want to see how the riffraff are making out?
Hey, it's a dirty job. Are you the riffraff spokesman?
King, actually. You might want to bow. Otherwise, no telling what might fall off the Nomad when you're out there.
I'll take my chances. Just want to see how things are going with the ship.
I can coax more out of this baby than some might think, but we shouldn't go too far or push too hard between Nexus stops. For now. It just feels good to be stretching our wings, you know? Locked in idle too long, you start to drift. People, same as ships. Stuck on the Nexus, gotta say, I was regretting joining the initiative.
Seems like life back there was pretty bleak.
Not gonna lie, it sucked. I tend to live the way I work. Kind of feel it, do it. Not a lot of close ties. No real sense of purpose. Figured maybe I'd find my true calling in Andromeda. Then I got here and, oops, I just made a decision there's no turning back from. I was going nuts on that station. You can't know how jazzed I was when you showed up.
Happy to be of service. I think you'll see that showing up is only one of my many talents.
Oh yeah? You're not hitting on me, are you?
Thought I was. Is it not one of my many talents?
I'm just not susceptible, if you know what I mean. Liam's more my speed. Well, if he wasn't such a tool.
Got it. Sorry.
No sweat at all. You just keep pointing this ship wherever you want it to go, and I'll make sure she can get there. Deal?
Deal.
Yeah. Though you would have to say that a tool and an engineer should get along quite well. Or mechanic or whatever he is. I mean, he's a mechanic, an electrician, an engineer, a systems designer, whatever. He's essentially he can take it guy. I don't know how many degrees, masters, whatever he has to have in order to be able to single-handedly maintain this entire ship. Yeah. Anything done here? Nope.
Nice place you found.
Clean air, plants, helps me think.
Something on your mind?
Maybe.
Your biotics always do that when you're maybe stressed?
I got it. I'm good. I don't normally lose it like that. A huntress should have better control.
Huntress?
Another term for an Asari commando. I was one, before the initiative. Some things stick, though. Like losing the old man.
How does a human soldier get to serve with Asari?
Prove your biotics can rip an APC apart, and people get nervous. Funny that. The Alliance found me a cross-species military initiative in a hurry. Sent me to Thessia to serve with the Huntress unit. One of the few places where my powers were welcomed. Your father made another one.
You were his second in command. Were you friends too?
He was more a mentor than a friend. Prickly old bastard. But I respected that. People treat geniuses like they're made of cut glass. I didn't care how smart he was. I think he liked someone not caring.
There's a lot of loss going around. Dad, the Golden Worlds.
A friend and mentor who trained you to be a Pathfinder. I said I wouldn't get in the way. And I meant it. But I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? The hell was he thinking?
Is this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
Nope. Yeah. What did you come for?
So what brought you out to Andromeda?
Biotics like this. Thinking like an Asari huntress. I never had a place. Best I could be was a useful freak. The initiative was meant to be different. Will be different if this mission succeeds. So I'm seeing it through. It's quiet in here. I can keep the plants watered while I work. First job, see if there's any news on the Asari Ark. If they made it, we could use some Asari expertise. If you want to talk, I'll be here.
Yeah. So, guess that completes the walk around the ship and saying hi to the entire, almost the entire crew. Let's complete it first.
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon.
Darkly beautiful. I like that. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
You mean a god?
Yes, I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I am a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
There's nothing about the universe that suggests a divine intelligence. And most of what we've seen in Helios is artificial, as you said yourself.
Yes, but we're creative beings. Whoever made the Remnant was too. Why should that be proof against a god? Wouldn't a true creator want to pass on the drive to invent?
You are welcome to your beliefs. It's good to have different voices on the team.
Excellent. Oh, speaking of the team, I should update the folks back in the Nexus with the latest reports. We'll talk later.
Glad you stopped by. You'll pardon me if I keep an eye on our vector?
That's probably smart.
Nothing like being on the bridge of your very own ship, is there?
I could stand here and drink in that view all day.
When I was test piloting the ship back home, I often did. Of course, it took a whole team to build the Tempest. I was the only one to come to Helios, though.
Why did you?
What can I say? We poured our hearts into a ship that wouldn't realize her potential until Andromeda. I could have stood on the shore and waved goodbye, or took the leap to see how it all turned out.
So he's the one I wanted to fire earlier for designing all the ships here. Well, at least he only designed the Tempest. And forgot to add armor or weapons or multi-layer shields. And hi Ulrich. Yeah, I wish at least he had included a point defense, but he didn't.
I get it. Like leaving a good story half finished.
The team liked that one of us was going. It felt right, after all we went through. I remember Serena debugging line 2281 over and over, chewing that green pencil. Tion and O'Connell arguing equations, tapping on the console, 3 drips of coffee on the corner.
You remember all that?
Oh, yes. Solarians have photographic memories, and apparently mine's unusually sharp. Like my past is still happening. Though I suppose with the Solarian arc missing, you might not get many chances to compare.
I think we should have designed it together, don't you? and maybe the rest of the initiative ships as well. I'm pretty sure the cat would not have liked our approach to the Helios cluster. He might be missing Solarians, but I wouldn't miss 10, so no, 10 doesn't count.
Did you hear anything about the Ark back on the Nexus?
Not a peep. Isn't that strange? You'd think there'd be something. Not that I dislike your company, but it's lonely without other Solarians.
Don't sweat it. We'll bring the Solarians home.
Of course we will. I just have to be patient, that's all. I should get back to it, but thank you. I was afraid the Tempest would be mothballed after we lost your father. We built her for this. She deserves to be in a Pathfinder's hands. Please, come by any time.
I actually thought about what I would fit out the Tempest with. And I thought about adding a spinal cannon, but then decided that a spinal cannon would actually be kind of overkill and take up way too much space. But simply having some laser point defense and say, like the Normandy SR2 is portrayed in the games, having two big turrets underneath, or one underneath and one on top, or something like that, that would definitely help quite a bit, especially since turrets would still allow him to fly the ship as he likes, while still giving us the option to shoot at the enemy. We are a civilian organization, at least officially, so yeah. Putting military-grade weapons on an exploration ship would probably give us quite some trouble. We would probably have blueprints with which are fully designed for military use to be built here in Helios, because we are essentially a new human state being founded in this galaxy, and any laws back home don't apply here. So for ships we actually build completely over here. Sure, go all in with the military weapon and add on as many spinal weapons and cannons and missiles and whatever. But for the ships that were designed in the Milky Way and had to get through all the hoops and loops and whatever over there, I think just having two big turrets, or maybe two big ones and a couple smaller ones, would be quite sufficient. And I would probably use not just a laser point defense, but a mixture of laser and projectile-based point defense. Simply because we in the Milky Way have shields that stop projectiles, so therefore projectile-based point defense is kind of pointless. It just gets stopped by shields. But laser point defense does get through shields, and therefore can stop shielded missiles, or fighters, or stuff like that. But we don't know what they have here. And kinetic energy is definitely one of the easiest way to kill stuff, so mix it up. I will not read a 500 pages scientific document in a specialty I have no idea about. Sorry, but on to the trash. But that reminds me, we haven't talked to PB yet.
You're setting up in here, huh?
Yeah, I'm going through what we got out of that vault. If I can crack this data storage box, it'll help with a personal project back on the Nexus. This is a nice, out-of-the-way place where I can tinker, and I can sleep anywhere. It's not exactly homey, but I like that about it. Not really looking for a home. Oh, but I will help you find everyone a home. While I'm with you, at least.
Does your brain ever take a breath?
Sorry, not really. Even my dreams are in time-lapse. I get it. You want to know who's on your ship, so you're here to figure out what makes me tick, right?
Something like that? Sure.
Well, I was born in a log cabin on rural Haitiana to simple but loving parents, just trying to... I look forward, not back, writer. Why snooze through my life story? Get to know me out in the field while we're uncovering the mysteries of this galaxy. That's why I'm here. Got tired of yawning back home.
You left everything and everyone you knew because you were bored?
No, I came with someone I knew. Then she got bored with me. Ryder, the Milky Way was so... been there, done that. Even if I hadn't done it, someone had. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I live for the unknown. For the never been done.
That's just the one thing you want me to know about you.
Let's start with that then. Buy me a drink sometime. Who knows what will spill out of my mouth. Tell you what, I need Remnant scrap. Remtech, I call it. For projects like the one I mentioned, which you're gonna love, by the by. Promise to bring me what you scrounge, and I'll submit to all your questions.
Remtech, huh? You got it.
PB is quite the flirt. So yeah. Let's see where that freaking signal takes us. But I am quite surprised that they designed the arcs and the Nexus the way they did. I would have designed the Nexus as a standalone, each of the Nexus and the arcs as a standalone ship, positioning each arc above its homeworld as an industrial hub, and maybe drop the sections of the ship down on the planet as the center of the colonies on that planet. So let's say the 4 arms of it has, drop them off with roughly 5,000 people each, that in order to form 1 colony each. So we have 4 settlements on the planet to go from the beginning, and then leave the other 5,000. Leave the rest of the ship in orbit as an industrial station, shipyard, trading center, industrial hub, all that stuff. There's absolutely no reason to not do that. I mean, the Next is a freaking 15-kilometer long ship. It should definitely be large enough to have everything it needs on board, including enough power to run all its systems. It shouldn't need the arcs to dock to it in order to simply run the lights. I mean, come on. It's not like lights are actually taking up all that much power compared to the alternatives, like, for example, heavy industrial systems. Or multi-layer shielding. Or artificial gravity in the entire station. Yeah, check these out one at another time. I mean, just look at it. The arc down there, that little shippy, is 1.5 kilometer. That entire thing here is roughly 15.7 kilometers, if my memory doesn't lie. I know only the top half, not without the ring, the central section, and the bottom half. Only the top one was actually sent from the Milky Way to here. The rest was built here. But even just that top part is so freaking huge. There's no reason for it not to include hydroponics to feed all the people, industrial systems to build up an entire economy over here, and enough power and supplies to keep it running for several centuries. Or at least several decades. I mean, they're even they're even right above a giant gas world. So, yeah. That gas giant below them should easily give them enough fuel to keep running for, I don't know, millennia? It's not like helium is one of the rares, isn't the most abundant element in the freaking universe. Anyways. Let's get the back to the Nexus and talk about those extended duties of a Pathfinder. And unlock that part as well. I was quite surprised when we get to that world later on. That white world we meet later on. That is going to be the primary source of water. Water is one of the most abundant options in space.
We've thought that before. But EOS is different now, right? Pathfinder.
Alright, settle down. Give him space. Lieutenant Syax, Kendros' aide. They all wanted to see you. Real hope again. It's been a while.
Relax, Lieutenant. If there was ever a day to pop some champagne.
Certainly. The initiative's finally back on track.
This is Hirik, one of the scientists from the tech lab.
What you achieved with that Remnant vault is unprecedented, Pathfinder. Impossible.
With more military personnel out of stasis, those Ket won't get near your vault. Or our people.
We've taken some hard knocks. But this proves we'll always get up again.
Always.
Well, what are you waiting for? There's a new world out there.
Thank you,
PR op done with. So let's see. Anyone here want something from me? There's a hijack waiting for me behind back there. So let's pick it up. Because having one pet isn't enough. Oh, actually, that is my first pet. Hi, Pyjack.
Here we are. One young Pyjack. Ready to see Andromeda, huh? Sam, can you send a note to Kesh? Make sure our new friend gets delivered to the Tempest?
Acknowledged.
So, let's see. There's titanium here. And a bunch of models, let's take those. Not like they cost a lot. The mod extension is definitely something we need a lot of. This one I think we need at least one of. These we need, this we need. Didn't I deactivate that mod? Oh. Yep, let's trade that stuff. Do we want to sell these? Nope. But I do want to sell some mods. Because we definitely don't need multiples of these. And I will not use a shotgun. I dislike shotguns in Mass Effect. They are kinda overpowered. So... yeah, I guess that's it. Except I wanted to look into the recharge option for that armor. That we can't make, but we might be able to make this one. Platinum, not titanium, my bad. A lot of stuff, so nope. Also stuff we can't buy yet. platinum, titanium, beryllium. We could probably buy that, but I really don't like that armor. So yeah, let's not. Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I leveled up. So I can once again get my skills going. And I can finally pick this one. Getting shields per second will help so much. 4 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but having 4 seconds of guaranteed shields coming back online almost instantly helps a ton. The fact that it's also priming now, which means I finally have both a primer and a detonator skill and can blow people up real easily, is also a freaking big change. So let's see. Cora. Unfortunately, I still don't have the shield boosts for her. Anyways, discharge here. Yep, it does more ouch. More ouch is always good. Vetra. Haven't skilled her at all. Except unlocking her skills, apparently. Activating power armor gives her shields. Later on, she has... later on she gets... I think here... Yep. When she's near death, she automatically regains the cooldown of her power armor, therefore getting her shields back and therefore being able to keep going. It also increases her shields and hit points, so yeah, that really keeps her alive quite a while. So that is definitely something I wanna skill on her. It also makes her freaking tough, which is definitely a bonus. Unfortunately, it'll take a while to get her to the detonator option, but I'll be working on that quite hard. Anything important here? Weapon damage. Let's put 1 point in, so next level we can get this one. Getting her to detonate stuff is definitely important. Yeah, why not? Go all in. Almost. Or actually go all in? Yeah, actually go all in. You're freaking Krong, you should be tough enough. Burn the world. You invasion. Invasion. This part of invasion is really awesome. Enemy defense debuff 25%, with this 35%, means every single enemy takes 35% more damage. That really helps. So, yeah, spread the love. However, she is freaking squishy without at least some boosts, so she gets some boosts right there. I could give her that, or I could actually give her another primer. And it. So, yeah. In my experience, combo primers and detonators are the primary... oh, nice. Yeah, take that, definitely. Are the primary way of dealing damage in with abilities, at least, in Mass Effect. If you want to do it weapon-based, there's a ton of options for that, no question about that, but if you want to do it with your skills, then going for detonations and those combos is truly where it's at. How much money do we have? Enough. So just buy everything. Yep, let's take everything. Yeah, operations.
Cat 7 in the Erickson system. Ryder's daughter has reportedly replaced him as Pathfinder, taking command of the Tempest in the ongoing search for
In some places, the light is really weird. In most places, it's just fine, but sometimes it's just off. Yeah, I'll talk with you in a bit.
Just a minute. Good to see you. Hello. Director Tan is expecting you.
Last time I was here, this was a storage closet.
Pathfinder Hall just needed a Pathfinder to open.
We're still getting the commons area ready. Hydroponics is only at partial capacity.
Not good enough.
We don't have enough people. My workers need a break, Tan.
I sympathize, but not until our survival is no longer at risk. Now please excuse me while I meet with our Pathfinder. Hey Ryder, Addison told me about the outpost. You're the hero of the hour.
Let's hold off on the celebration. We haven't found home yet.
Oh, there's no need for modesty. Success affords leverage over those who doubted you.
And you're my best friend.
A patron. One who shares your vision of a prosperous future.
Getting the big boss, at least on paper, to back me? Sure, can get behind that.
I suppose we agree on that much.
I knew that given a chance, your talents would emerge. Deciphering the vault, alien terraforming. It's not how we imagined all this, but a good Pathfinder improvises. And a great one hangs it on the wall. Yours are the first trophies to grace Pathfinder Hall. You're a symbol now, Ryder. A reason for people to believe.
It wouldn't have been possible without my crew. They're a talented bunch.
But you're their beacon.
Careful, he'll end up adopting you, Ryder.
Ah, my staff.
Colleagues, you wouldn't be looking to cut us out, would you, Tan?
I remind you, I am the director of the initiative.
Acting director.
I did just accept him as a patron. But this isn't the time to squabble.
This isn't the time for arguing over who gets to be king. Too much is at stake. We should be cooperating.
That's what I've been saying since we arrived.
Then I look forward to winning our Pathfinder support.
Though I worry about your decision on EOS, Ryder. A military outpost won't help feed the Nexus, not the way scientists might have.
But it will protect us from a growing list of threats.
And we could argue about it all day long, as we always do. The decision was made. Now we move on. What is your plan for moving on, Ryder?
We have a lead on the terraforming network. I need to take the Tempest deeper into the sector to investigate. If the other Golden Worlds are where they should be, this could get us closer to them.
Careful. The Kett are scouring the cluster for Remnant technology. You'll end up in a fight, for sure. You might also run into exiles. They didn't leave the Nexus on good terms.
And we still need more outposts. They're important to expanding the station.
Though with Ark still missing, this could be a chance for Ryder to search for them. Yes, I think that's best. You have my permission.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Permission,
you, Director.
yeah.
I'll get on it.
May you light the torch that finds the path. Pathfinder. Ugh.
Right.
Just had a level, get a new level. I can live with that. Yep, let's go for that. 15% more power recharge. Power defense, whatever. I want the trigger first. The armor can come later. Cannot die during it. Yeah, I want that up more. Points. Not enough to get further in here. Here. But we can make a prime more often. And doesn't get a primer. Actually, it is a primer. But any other options? More tank. Sure, I think we can go with that. By the way, for those of you that are wondering, the tech armor works by giving you 30 points of damage resistance, essentially. At least whenever the graphics is active. I'm not entirely sure when the damage resistance is applied, but it essentially gives you 30 points of damage resistance. And damage resistance works by essentially the method is a bit evolved.
Talk to your brother, sort of. Drop by when you can. Hyperion Medbay.
Will do.
But essentially,
we are to contact Director Addison as soon as possible.
Right. Something about Andromeda viability and perks. Could be useful.
Anyone else want to interrupt me? Okay, thanks. Yeah. Damage resistance works essentially by reducing the damage you take, as the name implies, but the method is a bit more complex than that. It's essentially you multiply the damage you take by you multiply it by 1 divided by, opening bracket, 1 plus damage resistance divided by 100. Was the other way around. Essentially, the more damage resistance you have, the less each point does. It's the other way around. Let's start over. Okay, damage resistance is the formula. I wish I could type it down here somewhere. But essentially it's 1 divided by 100. Sorry, 1 divided by damage resistance, which means... I'm fucking up. Sorry guys. Let's ignore the math. The more you get, the less damage you take, but the more you have, the less each point does. At 100 points of damage resistance, you take half damage. At 200 points of damage resistance, you take a third of damage. At 300, you would take a quarter. That's how the math works out. I can't get the right formula up right now. I'll look it up after the stream and yeah. Tell you in the next one. But we finally got this mission done. So yeah. Having 30 points of damage resistance therefore means that you have roughly, I'm not entirely sure, 20% less damage taken. It's quite a bit, and it helps quite a lot. At least whenever it's applied. I really wish I knew if it actually only applied when the shields are down, or if it only applied to damage that ignores shields or hits you when there are no shields. For example, according to some of the stuff I read on the wiki, melee damage ignores shields, so not sure if it applies against that. I would have to do some testing, but I don't want to right now.
Rider, isn't it? Kerry Tvessa, freelance filmmaker. This is Hakim, my producer. I could use your help.
What are you looking for?
Director Tans asked for an uplifting documentary on the initiative.
Translation, paint rainbows over our problems. But our problems are history. People deserve the truth, not propaganda.
It takes integrity to record the truth and nothing but.
Well, I do my best. And you could help me out. The heart of my documentary will be an interview series. I was hoping you'd take part. I want the dirt and blood of our story, not the convenient fairy tale town's looking for. Interested?
Okay, interview away.
Let's start at home. 14 months and the Nexus still isn't finished. Arcs are missing, we have people in exile. By any standard, this wasn't the plan. Our leadership describes these as anticipated issues. Would you agree?
Yeah. With the planning we did and the stuff we got, it's definitely to be anticipated. You can't do anything other than fuck up. But this is a PR op, so...
All expeditions have to deal with supplies, enemies, or, hell, just getting lost. We'll deal with all of them. We just need time.
Tan will love that. But if that's your take, that's what goes in. Bandwidth means I'm transmitting in short bursts, so that's all for now. But you can bet I'll have more questions later. You were great. I'll get to work editing.
I mean, the initiative is so badly planned that I'm actually considering whether that's not a failure, but intentional planning on someone that was trying to sabotage the initiative. I mean, come on. Not a single weapon on any of the ships? Not on one of them? Not even on the Nexus? If that's not planning to fail, then I don't know what is.
You've shaken things up, Pathfinder. My department actually has colonial affairs to direct. And you have new tools to help grow the initiative. AVP, ready for spending.
Sam said there was new functionality to discuss.
It's how the initiative was designed to support the Pathfinder. You and your team are out there making Andromeda viable. That empowers all of us. Hit a threshold. A new cryo group can be brought out. Want more security, like you chose at Prodromos? That's your call. Brecker will introduce the interface and handle minutiae. All you need to do is decide what life in Andromeda means. No pressure.
So yeah, let's actually get that unlocked.
Hello,
I
Pathfinder.
quite like him.
I am Cryo Deployment Administrator Vladimir Brecker, C-63 Galati. Your first task is to decide irrevocably the course of every life in the initiative.
You're kidding?
Yes, of course. But now you respect what we're doing. Andromeda viability and the Nexus thresholds are your tools, your reward, and our future. How can I help?
What's the rundown on AVP?
Much of the preparation in the Milky Way was determining how to measure success. Thresholds are about capacity, but this is about cost, what we can actually afford to support. Points aren't the most elegant system, but it makes it clear. The more you earn, the more we can deploy.
So I decide what groups to wake up. Won't everyone be out eventually?
Absolutely. But there's an order to things, a lines of support. You can't deploy an omelet without first deploying eggs, and eggs won't get you steak. Except it's people, and how all our lives begin.
How are you measuring thresholds?
It's based on resource estimates and general stability, a metric of acceptable scope and risk. The more you achieve, the greater capacity we can accommodate, the more the initiative can do for you. Simplest explanation, the more you do, the more room we have to grow.
All right, Brecca. Where do I start?
The interface is active and will respond only to a Pathfinder. It's ready for your first selection. You may begin shaping the initiative at your leisure.
One pot. Research points or minerals. Consumables, organic materials, tech materials, hidden caches, multiplayer stuff, cache, prices, inventory. For now, I'm doing research a lot, so let's go with the research. I was 50 points short earlier for that one Milky Way research. I think the vintage heatsink. Now I got 100 extra, so that should be solved. But yeah, I'm calling it here. I'm ending the stream. I'll be back in roughly half an hour. Just taking a short break, getting something, a bite to eat, bio break, and all that stuff. And in half an hour we'll be back. And at that point, I will probably be switching from following the main storyline to actually doing a little bit of side stories, side quests. Finish the Nexus quest lines, finish some of the stuff on EOS, scan all the stuff in space, all that kind of crap. So yeah, see you all in roughly half an hour, I think. Yeah, half an hour. That would be 21:15 my time. See you then.